YouTube? Otaku here. I'm going to be getting back into it with page 392. I apologize, I was very... Yeah, 392. Alright. Before we begin, I will be your personal narrator. My name is Otaku. If you haven't been here before, please go check out the channel description before we begin. If you have been here before, let's grab our eucalyptus and our inhalation rituals and let's begin. Clink, clink, clink. This is what I call hit it for the where's a wah. That was a good hit. Alright, we're going to try to get to page 400 today. Mom put down her bucket and strained her shoulders. Gets you the first thing, don't it? Sure, we'll all get used to it right off. Close on in and get some food. Ma said, "What do you like to eat tonight?" Question mark. "Meat," said Tom. "Meat and bread and a big cup of coffee. And sugar. Big old piece of meat." Ruthie wailed. "Ma, we're tired." "Better come along in then." They was tired when they started, Paul said. "Wild as rabbits when they're again. Ain't gonna be no good unless we can pin them down. As soon as we get settled down, they'll go to school," said Mom. She truckled away, and Ruthie and Winefield timidly followed her. "We got to work like this every day? Question mark? Winefield asked. Ma stopped and waited. She took her hand and walked along holding it. "It ain't hard work," she said. "Be good for you. And if you're helping us, it'll all work out. Pretty soon we'll live in a nice house and we'll all be ones helping." "But I got so tired," Winefield said. "I know. I got tired too. Everybody got worn out. Got to think about other stuff. Think about when you'll go back to school." "I don't want to go back to no school. Ruthie don't either. Them kids that go to school, we seen them. Ma, snots, call us Okies. We seen them and I ain't a-going." Ma looked pityingly down on his straw hat. Yeah, Ma looked pityingly down on his straw hat. "Don't give us no trouble right now," she begged. "As soon as we get back on our feet, you can be bad, but not now. We got too much going on now." "I ate 6 of them peaches," Ruthie said. "Well, you'll have the skitters, and I ain't close to no toilet where we are." The company store was a large shed of congregated iron. It had no display window. Ma opened the screen door and went in. A tiny man stood behind the corner. He was completely bald, and his head was blue-white. Okay, so far so good. Large brown eyes covered his eyes in such a big arch that his face seemed surprised and a little frightened. His nose was long and thin, and covered like a bird's beak, and his nostrils were blocked with the light brown hair. Over the sleeves of his blue shirt, he wore black sateen sleeve protectors. He was leaning on his elbows on the counter where Ma entered. "Afternoon," she said. He inspected her with interest. The arch over his eyes became higher. "Howdy. I got a slip here for $1. "You can get $1 worth," he says, and he giggled shrilly. "Yes, sir, $1 worth, $1 worth." He waved his hand at the stock. "Any of it." He pulled his sleeve protector up neatly. Thought I'd get a piece of meat. Got all kinds, he said. Hamburger. Like to have you some hamburger? 20 cents a pound. Hamburger. Ain't that awfully high? Seems to me hamburger was 15 last time I got some. Well, he giggled softly. Yeah, it's high. And at the same time, it ain't high. Time you go on into town for a couple pounds of hamburgers. It'll cost you about a gallon gas. So you see, it ain't really high here. 'Cause you got no gallon of gas. Ma said sternly. It don't cost you no gallon of gas to get it out here. He laughed delightfully. You looking at a bass awkwards? He said, we ain't a buying it, we're a selling it. And if we was buying it, why that'd be different. Ma put 2 fingers to her mouth and frowned with thought. It looks all full of fat and gristle. It ain't guaranteed she won't cook down. The storekeeper said, I ain't guaranteeing it. I ate her myself, but there's lots of stuff I wouldn't do. Ma looked up at him fiercely for a moment. She controlled her voice. Ain't you some kind of cheaper kind of meat? Soup bones, he said. 10 cents a pound. But them's just bones. Them's just bones, he says. Makes nice soup, them bones. Got any boiling beef? Oh yeah, sure. Them 2 bits a pound. Maybe I can't get no meat, Ma said. But they want meat. They said they wanted meat. Everybody wants meat. Needs meat. That hamburger is pretty nice stuff. Use the grease that comes out of her for gravy. Pretty nice. No waste. Don't throw no bone away. How much is side meat? Well, you know you're getting into fancy stuff. Christmas stuff. Thanksgiving stuff. 35 cents a pound. I could sell you turkey cheaper if I had some turkey. Ma sighed. Give me 2 pounds of hamburger. Yes, ma'am. I scooped a pile of meat. He scooped the pile of meat on a piece of waxed paper. And what else? Well, some bread. Right here. Fine big loaf. 15 cents. That there's a 12-cent loaf. Sure it is. Go right into town and go get it for 12 cents. Gallon of gas. What else can I sell you? Potatoes? Yes, potatoes. 5 pounds for a quarter. Ma moved menacingly towards him. I heard enough of you. I know what they cost in town. The little man clamped his mouth tight. Then you go get it in town, then, woman. Ma looked at her knuckles. What is this? She asked softly. You own this here store? No, I just work here. Any reason you got to make fun? That help you any? She regarded her skinny, wrinkly hands. The little man went silent. Who owns this here store? Hooper's Ranch, Incorporated, ma'am. And they set the prices? Yes, ma'am. She looked up, smiled a little. Everybody comes to talking like me. Everybody comes in talking like me is mad. He hesitated for a moment. Yes, ma'am. And that's why you make fun? What you mean? Question mark. Doing a little dirty thing like this. Shame on you, don't it? Gotta act flip, huh? Her voice was gentle. The clerk watched her, fascinated. He didn't answer. That's how it is, Ma said finally. 40 cents for meat, 15 for bread, quarter for potatoes. That's 80 cents. Coffee? 20 cents the cheapest, ma'am. And that's the dollar. 7 of us working, and that's supper. She studied her hand. Wrap 'em up, she said quickly. Yes, ma'am, he said. Thanks. He put the potatoes in a bag and folded the top carefully down. His eyes slipped to Ma, and then he hid back into his work. She watched him. She smiled a little. How'd you get a job like this, huh? She asked. Fella gots to eat, he began, and then belligerently, fella gots a right to eat. What fella? Ma asked. He placed the 4 packages on the counter. Meat, he said, potatoes, bread, coffee, $1, even. He handed him her slip of paper and watched while he entered the name and the amounts in the ledger. There, he said, now we're all even. Ma picked up her bags. Say, she says, we got no sugar for the coffee. My boy Tom, he wants sugar. Look, they're working out there. You let me have some sugar and I'll bring you the slip in later. The little man looked away, took his eyes as far from Ma as he could. I can't do that, he said softly. That's the rule. I can't. I'll get in trouble. I'd get canned. They're working out in the fields now. They're getting more dimes coming. Give him 10 cents of sugar, Tom. He wants his sugar for his coffee. Spoke about it. I can't do it, ma'am. That's the rule. No slip, no groceries. The manager, he talks about it all the time. No, sirree, ma'am. No, I can't. They'll catch me. They always catch fellas. Always. I can't. For even a dime? For anything, ma'am. He looked pledgingly at her, and then his face lost in fear. He took 10 cents from his pocket and rang it up in the cash register. Oh, this fucking nickel. Just paid for our fucking sugar. God bless this hoe. Fuck this nigga. That's the least he can do for giving Mom such fucking hassle during all this. Bastard. Over there laughing and being delightful about robbing people like this. Man, fuck that nigga. Hell yeah. There, he said with relief. He put a little bag from under the counter, whipped it open, and scooped some sugar into it, weighed the bag, and added a little more sugar. There you are, he said. Now it's all right. You bring in your slip, and I'll give my dime back later. Ma studied him. Her hand went blindly out and put the little bag of sugar on the pile in her arm. Thanks to you, she said quietly. She started for the door, and when she reached it, she turned about. I'm learning one good thing, she said. Learning it all the time, every day. If you're coming in trouble or hurt or need, go to poor people. They're the ones who actually help you. The real ones. The screen door slammed behind her. She's right. The little man leaned his elbows on the counter and looked after her with his surprised eyes. A plump tortoiseshell cat leaped up on the counter and stalked lazily near him. It rubbed sideways against his arms, and he reached out of his hand and pulled out against his cheek. The cat purred loudly. The tip of its tail jerked back and forth. Tom and Al and Paul and Uncle John walked from the orchard to the dusk was deep. Their feet were a little heavy against the road. You wouldn't think just reaching up and picking will get you in the back, said Paul. Be all right in a couple days, said Tom. My bad. Say, Paul, after we eat, I'm gonna go walk out and see if there's any fuss outside the gate. It's been working on me. Wanna come? No, said Paul. I'd like to have a little while to just work and not think about nothing. Seems like I've just been beating my brains to death for a hell of a long time. No, I'm gonna go sit a while, then go to bed after dinner. How about you, Al? Al looked away. Guess I'll look around here first, he said. Well, I know Uncle John won't come. Guess I'll go out here alone. Got me all curious. Paul said, gotta be a hell of a lot curiouser before I'll do anything about it, with all them cops out there. Maybe they just ain't there at night, Tom suggested. Well, I ain't finna find out. You better not tell Ma where you're going. She'll just squirt her head off of worrying. Tom turned to Al. Ain't you curious? Guess I'll just look around this here camp. Looking for girls, huh? Minding my own business, Al said acidically. I'm still a-going, said Tom. They emerged from the orchard into the dust streets between the red shacks. The low yellow lights of kerosene lanterns shone from one side of the doorway, and inside of the half-gloom, the back shapes of people moved about, and at the end of the street a guard still sat, his shotgun resting against his knee. Tom paused as he passed the guard. Got a place where a fella could get a bath, mister? The guard studied him with the half-light. At last he looked. See that water tank? Yeah. Well, that there's a hose over there. Any warm water? Say, who the hell you think you are, J.P. Morgan? No, said Tom. No, I sure don't. Good night, mister. The guard grunted contemptuously. Hot cold, for Christ's sakes. Been wanting tubs next. He stared gloomily for the after the four jewels. A second guard came around the hen house. What's the matter, Mac? Why, them goddamn Okies. So they want warm water, he says. Second guard rested his gun butt on the ground. It's them government camps, he says. I bet that fella's been in a government camp. We can have no peace till we wipe them camps out. They've been wanting clean sheets, first thing we know. What's wrong with these people? Who wouldn't want these things? What the fuck? Mac asked. How's it out at the main gate? Hear anything? Well, that there was yelling all day. State police got it in hand. They ran the hell out of them smart guys. I heard there's a long lean son of a bitch sparking plugging things. Fella says they got to get him they'll get him tonight, and then she'll go to pieces. We won't have no job if it gets too easy. We'll have a job, all right. These goddamn Okies. You gotta watch out for them all the time. Things get a little quiet, you can always stir them up a little. Have trouble when we cut the rate here, I guess. We sure will. No, you need worry about us having work, not with hoopers snubbing clothes. The fire roared in the Drolled house, page 398. Hamburger patties splashed on the hissing of the grease, and the potatoes bubbled. The house was full of smoke, and the yellow lantern light threw heavy black shadows on the walls. Ma wore quickly about the fire while Rosa Sharon sat on a box, resting her heavy abdomen on her knees. Feeling better now? ? Ma asked. Smelling the cooking gets me. I'm getting hungry too. Go set in the door, Ma said. Got to have a box to break up anyways. The man trooped in. Meat. By God, said Tom. And coffee? I smell her. Jesus, I'm hungry. I ate a lot of peaches, but they didn't do no good. Where can we wash, Ma? Go down to the water tank. Wash down there. I just sent Ruthie and Whitefield to go wash. The men went on about. Go on now, Rosa Sharon, Ma ordered. Either you set at the door or else on the bed. I gotta break that box up. The girl helped herself up on the hands. She moved heavily on one of the mattresses and sat down on it. Ruthie and Whitefield came in quietly, trying by silence and by keeping close to the wall to remain obscure. Ma looked over at them. I got a feeling you little fellas is lucky they ain't much light, she says. She pounced at Whitefield and felt his hair. Well, you got wet anyways, but I bet you ain't clean. There wasn't no soap, Whitefield complained. Nope, that's right. I couldn't buy no soap, not today. Maybe we get some soap tomorrow. She went back to the stove, laid out the plates, and began to serve the supper. 2 patties apiece and a big potato. She placed 3 slices of bread on each plate. When the meat was all out of the frying pan, she poured a little of the grease on each plate. The men came in again, their faces dripping and their hair skinning with water. Let me at her, Tom cried. They took the plates. They were silently, wolfishly, and wiped the grease with the bread. The children retired into the corner of the room, put their plates on the floor, and kneeled in front of the food like little animals. Tom swallowed the last of his bread. Got any more, Ma? No, she said. That's all. You made $1. That's $1's worth. That? They charge extra out there. We gotta go into town where we can. I ain't full. Well, tomorrow you can get a full day. Tomorrow night we'll have plenty. I wiped his hand on his sleeve. "Guess I'll take a look about," he said. "Wait, I'll go with you." Tom followed him outside. In the darkness, Tom went close to his brother. "Sure you don't want to come with me?" "No, I'm going to look around like I said." "Okay," said Tom. He turned away and strolled down the street. The smoke from the houses hung low to the ground, and the lanterns threw their pictures of doorways and windows out on the street. On the doorsteps, people sat and looked onto the darkness. Tom could see their heads turn as their eyes followed him down the street. At the street end, the dirt road continued across the stubble field, and the black lumps of haycocks were visible in the starlight. A thin blade of moon was low into the sky towards the west, and the long cloud of the Milky Way trailed clearly overhead. Tom's feet sounded softly on the dusty road, a dark path against the yellow stubble. He put his hand under his pockets and trotted along towards the main gate. An embankment came close to the road. Tom could hear the whispers of water against the grasses of irrigation ditch. He climbed up the bank and looked down onto the dark water and saw the stretched reflection of the stars. The state road was ahead. Car lights swooping past showed where it was. Tom set out again towards it. He could see the high-wired gate in the starlight. Page 400. We have made it. Whew. A figure stood beside the road. A voice said, "Hello? Who is it?" Tom stopped and stood still. "Who are you?" ? A man stood up and walked near. Tom could see the gun in his hand, and then a flashlight played in his face. "Where do you think you're going?" "Well, I thought I'd take a walk. Any law against it?" "You better walk some other way," Tom asked. "Can I get out of here?" "Not tonight you can't. Want to walk back, or shall I whistle some help to take you?" "Hell. Ain't nothing to me. If you're gonna cause a mess, I don't give a darn. Sure, I'll go back." The dark figure relaxed. The flash went off. "You see, it's for your own good. Them crazy pickets might get you." "What pickets?" "Them goddamn Reds." "Oh," said Tom. "I didn't know about them." "See 'em when you come, don't you?" "Well, I seen a bunch of guys, but there were so many cops I didn't know. Thought it was an accident." "You better get along back." "That's okay with me, mister." He swung about and started back. He walked quietly amongst the road 100 yards, and then he stopped and listened. The twittering call of a raccoon sounded near the irrigation ditch, and very far away, the angry howl of a tied dog. Tom sat down beside the road and listened. He held the high, soft laughter of a nighthawk and a stealthy movement of a creeping animal in the stubble. He inspected the skyline in both directions. Dark frames both ways, nothing to show against. Now he stood up and walked slowly to the right of the road. Off in the stubble field, he walked bent down, nearly as low as the haycocks. He moved slowly and stopped occasionally to listen. At last he came to the wired fence, 5 strands to taut barbed wire. Beside the fence he laid on his back, moved his head under the lowest strain, held the wire up with his hands and slid himself under, pushing himself against the ground with his feet. He was about to get up when a group of men walked by on the edge of the highway. Tom waited until they were far enough before he stood up and followed them. He watched the side of the road for a tense. A few automobiles went by. A stream cut across the fields, and the highway crossed in a small concrete bridge. Tom looked over at the side of the bridge, and at the bottom of the deep ravine, he saw a tent and a lantern was burning inside. He watched for a moment, saw the shadows of people against the canvas walls. Tom climbed the fence and moved down into the ravine through bushes and dwarf willows, and in the bottom, beside a tiny stream, he found a trail. A man sat on the box in front of the tent. "Evening," Tom said. "Who are you?" "I'd want to know that too. Who the fuck is this dude?" "It's Tom." "Well, I'm just passing by." "Know anybody here?" "No, I could tell you I was just getting past." Head stuck out of the tent. A voice said, "What's the matter, Casey?" "Casey?" Tom cried. "Casey? For Christ's sakes, is that fucking Casey? Our preacher Casey? No fucking way." "Oh my God, it's Tom Jold. Come on in, Tommy, come on in." Know him, do you? The man in front asked. Know him? Christ, yes, known him for years. I come west with him. Come on in, Tom. He clutched Tom's elbow and pulled him into the tent. 3 other men went to the tent, and in the center of the tent a lantern burned. The man looked up suspiciously. A dark-faced, scouring man held up to his hand. Glad to meet you, he said. I heard what Casey said. Is this the fella you was telling me about? Wow. We fucking found Casey. Page 401. Very happy about this. Whew. Thank you very much for being here. We made it to the final stretch. Page 400 is going to be fun because we're going to finish off at page 474. Y'all take care, reader. Peace.